had some technical difficulties, had to redo a few things, but we're here. We'll just do a quick 20-minute recap. The market's already open. They've been open for about 11 minutes and they are not looking good. Let me check over on X, make sure. We're here. Looks like it's working over there. I'll throw a little GM in the chat to get things started. But anyway, welcome. Yeah. We'll pull it up. Some of my, and look, NASDAQ open, and like I say, been open for about 12 minutes now, but big time, definitely not looking good. Down, NASDAQ down 1.44%. Look, it's a combination of the Straits of Hormuz being shut, completely paralyzed. The war, not a lot of certainty, maybe looking like it's going to go on longer, and bad economic data. We'll talk about all of it. But yeah, we see the NASDAQ is down 1.4%, right? 1.4%, almost 1.5%. The Dow's even worse. The Dow's coming at us down 1.8%, almost 2%. So this is a pretty big crash we're experiencing here. S&P down about 1.5 points. So definitely not looking good as far as that goes. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, which is really what we care about. You see the bubbles. Bitcoin was holding 70,000, but now you see we're down to 68,701. So we're down 4.5%. Jim, welcome if you're just joining me. Had some technical difficulties, so missed the opening of the market, but here we are. Market down 1.5 to 2% traditionally on obviously war uncertainty and stuff we're going to talk about. Straits of Hormuz being shut down, the war, maybe some uncertainty and a lot of propaganda on both sides out there, what's really happening. But people don't like war. People don't like uncertainty. So the Bitcoin being taken down, we got all the way up to 7. If you look at the week, we were all the way up to 70, just shy of 74,000. Now we're bleeding down. Even on the day, we went from 72.6 this time yesterday down to 68.70. So looking at the hourly here, big drop, which is just caused here by the bad opening and the futures continuing to look worse. Ethereum couldn't hold 2,000. We went here on the daily. Of course, we went from 2,119 down to 1993. So down 5% for the 5% for the day. 2.7 of that just happening in the last hour. XRP down 4 points. It's sitting at $1.36, down from a high of this time yesterday of almost $1.44, and we are down 4.2%. Solana 84.65, down from 91 yesterday. This time down 5.8%. So definitely not what we want to see. We're being taken down by the TradFi, but it's understandable. Yesterday we had a very sideways day. As I predicted on this very show, nothing really happened, but throughout the day, it seemed like no great news, Obviously, U.S. is having some success with degrading. There's less and less missiles and drones coming out. Their Navy's pretty much decimated. However, they are seeing, as we talked about yesterday, seeing some serious success with these cheap drones, and realize they're getting shot down by multi-million-dollar air defenses, multi-million-dollar each per missiles. So that's not good. And, the propaganda goes back and forth. And the big thing is the Straits of Hormuz are paralyzed. There's no traffic. Nobody's willing to go through, and we'll talk about that. We'll break it down. There's a lot of great news happening actually in the crypto world, but it's fallen on deaf ears on a Friday. But we got to go through it pretty quick today, faster than usual, just because of the fact that I had some technical difficulties and had to restart everything. But so some of these windows may take a minute. Let's see if I can get a couple of them going at a time here. But anyway, we are in day 7 of the war. It's reported now that Russia's providing Iran with targeting intelligence on U.S. forces in the Middle East, including the location of American warships, aircraft, according to officials familiar with with intelligence. Now, that's not surprising at all because they're one of their allies, right? So they're not going to get, they're not going to have anything with their fingerprints on it. But this news should, from the U.S. perspective, Iranian targets are being decimated by U.S. forces, paving the way for continued delivery of overwhelming American firepower. On the other side, Iran said it launched a massive barrage of missiles and Israel, and there's even fake footage of AI, old footage of other countries, but no doubt Israel's getting hit hard. But they claim they killed 200 people last week, and this just last night alone, and I think the numbers closer to like 12 to 15 since it started. So horrible when even one person dies. We hate war out there, but my point is lots of propaganda. Don't believe everything you're reading at all out there, and it's both sides. Now CNN, this is an example of he's out here walking around at a gas station. Well, that gas station's in the middle of nowhere, right? Not even close to where the stuff is taking place in. Hey, it's fine. There's no gas lines. People are fine. Now, Iran is 1/5 the size of America, right? So what if he's up on the Canadian border reporting on something happened down on the Mexican border? It's ridiculous. But then again, it may not be as chaos as America would like you to believe either. So take everything with a grain of salt. Bottom line is, war is bad. War is causing uncertainty. War is hurting us. So you can tit for tat on the propaganda stuff if you want to, but the reality is it's shaking the market, and the big news is the oil isn't getting through. Now, U.S. granted a 30-day waiver to buy Russian oil as Iran war drive crude prices near 87. Now, obviously, they're in the same. We saw yesterday Saudi Arabia's sending oil. Let's see. This is not this is Trump said no deal in Iran. Okay. Anyway, that wasn't even the article I had. When some of these refreshed, they didn't come out the same. But here's what I was looking for, which is Qatar warns that oil could reach $150 within 2 to 3 weeks if tankers cannot pass through the Straits of Hormuz. Now that's real news right there, right? You see how small that narrow neck is there, right? So that is what's causing us the panic and this massive drop in everything. So that's real news right there. Now China, of course, even a better picture of how small that strait. And the point there is kind of Dubai, right? I didn't realize they were so close. I go there all the time. I didn't realize they were that close to the Iran there on that. Just you can almost show a rock, not literally, but it's close is my point. But anyway, China, of course, gets a ton of their energy from like 90%, I think, or so of their energy from Iran. So of course they're in talks with Iran to allow safe oil and gas passage through the Straits of Hormuz. So obviously it's in everybody's interest, especially in China's interest. And they are friendly and they do business with them. So maybe that'll do some good. Now, part of it is they can't get these tankers. Now, these tankers are about $80 million, $100 million, maybe even more than that, just for the ship itself. And then they hold about $160 million worth of oil. So you're talking about a $300 loss. And so no one's willing to insure them. No one wants to die. But Trump came out and said they would insure him. But the reports are coming out that the DFC is $200 billion short of the capacity needed to ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. And so ship traffic has dropped about 92%. 20 million barrels a day are at risk. So that the insurance thing isn't resolved. Now, UAE, they're saying they successfully intercepted 9 ballistic missiles, 109 drones. Let me open up a couple more. Sorry, when I said it. Pops up, kind of shows you the flight situations having to take a wide path at all. So that's definitely not the situation we need, right? I mean, you see how wide that's actual air traffic. See why they're having to go around them. It's super dangerous, disruptive, right? The bigger disruption is obviously the oil situation itself. Emirates is expecting 100% network return within coming days as flights resume. So it does seem to be getting better, but there's still, obviously, this is really tarnishing the reputation. You know, who's going to go to Dubai with bombs flying? And there's a lot of people. I personally would be fine if I was there. I wouldn't even be looking to leave. But then again, you know, there's that odd chance that you happen to be in the wrong place, the wrong time, and you end up on the receiving end of one of those cheap drones. Back to crypto world, like I say, tons of good information, tons of good stuff. We'll try and go through it here, kind of machine gun style, since we don't have a lot of time. But Bank of Canada and the country's major banks complete the first tokenized bond trial. So like real doing bonds, all of it changed. So world that official. I thought this was cool. Our guy Jack Dorsey, the family, so one of the founders of Cash App and Square, which accounts, he's now allowed it to where people can accept Bitcoin. Now he has a project here. If you buy something and you reach out to the supplier and say, hey, I want to pay you in Bitcoin, do you want to click that Bitcoin button? If they do that and you're the first person to pay them, you get $25 in Bitcoin. I'll tell you, this happened early on. They had a thing like this with PayPal. I would reach out to my people who are paying me on my products and say, hey, if you want to pay in PayPal, you know, do this. I'd send them a link, a referral link, and I was making tens of thousands of dollars there a month for a little while. This is very good. This is going to get people. Now every person out there that understands it is going to reach out to the vendors. Hey, click that button. I want to pay you in PayPal or Bitcoin. All they got to do is check it off. So, hey, headband, hi there. Yeah, man. It's choppy hearing it, huh? Damn it. I might have to get a new microphone. Let me listen here on my Twitter, see how it's sounding. Let me just turn up my volume here and see if it's super choppy. Testing. Oh, I don't know if no, I haven't opened it. Sorry. Twitter, see how it's sounding. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me just turn up my volume here and see if it's super choppy. Well, yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. I will do some testing. Also, I've been moving back and forth from the microphone. Okay, spotty, because now it's fine. Okay, you know what? I maybe am not keeping my mouth. I've been moving around a lot this morning. I was noticing I'm bobbing around, probably not keeping my close enough to the mic, but I will look into it. I do have to get a new router because I got fiber optics pulled into my home office and I haven't upgraded my router. But no, thank you for letting me know that. I think a lot of it might have been me moving around too much. So I'll keep my mouth closer to the microphone. This is the biggest news of the day, in my opinion. Kazakhstan. I was on a few. Thank you, Artie, saying he hears me good. So, yeah, I will quit moving so much. I will get a new cable for my mic and get a new router. Hopefully, maybe all this weekend. So, thank you guys. Oh, good to see you. Sorry, a little late today. I had to restart everything. And just trying to wrap it up. But a lot of, obviously horrible news on the oil front side. Straits of Hormuz backed up, but great news on some crypto side, though it's fallen on deaf ears today because the market's sucking. But Kazakhstan, I was in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan about a year and a half ago, and Kazakhstan, huge country geographically. They're going to convert $350 million worth of gold and currency reserves, and they're going to put that on into Bitcoin and crypto. So this is how it's done. Everybody should be doing this, man. So shout out to me. That's the big news of the day. Been a machine gun through these last couple. Oh, this is my buddy Toby Cunningham, a big Bitcoin guy. Lives out in Portugal. Big wave surfer. Here he is out in Nazaré surfing some giant waves. Dude's crazy. But anyway, one of our Bitcoin brothers out there. The SEC dropped all of their suits that were started under the Biden era for Tron and BitTorrent, owned by Justin Sun. So if you're a Justin Sun fan or Tron, I do actually use Tron quite a bit, or I used to use it a lot to move stable coins. That's what most of their adoption, but it is actually cheap and fast, very fast. See if we last ones, and I got to have a hard stop of the tower. We talked to him yesterday. Our guy, Adam White Paper. He said Bitcoin's heading to $1 million with Morgan Stanley, BlackRock recommending to their clients. He said already with gold, and his company, as I report, I think yesterday, maybe not, maybe it was after the show. Maybe I just did a last minute update on TikTok, but his company is going to buy $1.5 billion. So another big buy incoming. Jane Street's back to their old games, by the way. Dumped out $19 million worth of Bitcoin on the market today. We'll see if they continue to manipulate, or it was just, I don't like to see their wallets back super active again. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on those suckheads. The second biggest news of the day, $2 trillion BNY Mellon disclosed they bought $127 million in Bitcoin through MSTR, Michael Saylor. So it is what it is here. But that's good. Big news, big bank, global bank. This is actually, I just showed you my guy, Toby, the big wave surfer, famous big wave surfer. His wife, Heidi, the blockchain chick, she used to do a lot of content, but anyway, that's his wife. She said crypto build is stalled because banks won't back the White House compromise because they don't want to compete with DeFi. Why should someone deposit in a bank when they can earn 4% on stablecoin? Couldn't agree more with Heidi and her husband, Toby. Be safe out there on those huge waves. Part of the other reason is unemployment came in at 4.4. Expectation was 4.3. Bad news short term for the economy. Good news potentially for rate cuts. But it has not been it. I don't think this is what's crashing the market. I think it's more so. I think it's more so the issue with the Straits of Hormuz and the war, which doesn't seem to be coming to conclusion. We're only 7 days into it, but like I say, that's going to continue to drag us down. Jamie Dimon, $5 trillion JP Morgan just said Bitcoin and crypto market structure now likely to pass by mid-year. So he's the one that's opposing it. So and he thinks it's going to pass. That's major bull. Oh yeah, high bandwidth microphone. I was moving around, so if you can't hear, definitely let me know, and it's good to know. I definitely can do a better job of not bobbing my head around. Non-farm payrolls down 92,000 in the negative. Forecast 50,000, previous 130,000. We're like way down, 250,000 off of last year. So once again, bad news. It sucks for the economy, but might be good news for rate cuts, which I don't think are going to happen until we get the new Fed chairman. And last news, not so super significant, but Dubai regulators do not want KuCoin operating there because they're unlicensed. So they have kind of their own thing. They're trying to get ahead of it. Let's take one last look at futures and Bitcoin. See where we're at. Sorry, it was a shorter show today, but appreciate you joining me nonetheless. Not a great Friday, but yeah, S&P still down. Let me look at the NASDAQ. Still down. NASDAQ down 1.25. A little better, but still not good. Maybe we'll flatten out. Maybe it won't get worse. Gold, of course, up and oil up. But let's take a look at Bitcoin as we end the show today. And I will be back Monday, hopefully a little earlier. But Bitcoin, leveled. Let's see, down 68,461. So down 5.2% today, and we're looking at 68,461. We'll see what happens. Don't freak out too much over the weekend. Low volume. There could be a lot of FUD out there, a lot of propaganda. We'll see what happens Sunday night. We'll be here Monday. I will let you know if I see anything out there. Thank you for joining me. I will see everyone Monday, hopefully a little earlier. Trying to open up around 15 after the hour, 15 minutes before the market ends. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend. Hopefully we can get through this and kind of at least maintain these levels. I think it depends on the war news, but low volume over the weekends. Don't get too shaken either way. Have